All right, I'm Roger Schultz. I'm a 41-year-old father of a young son and married to a beautiful wife. She married me when I was 383 pounds when I got married. And I always thought, one of my motivations for going on the show is I hate looking at my wedding pictures. I feel like, when you get married, that's a day, it's a special day to the bride. And I don't feel like I gave her the groom that she deserved. And that was one of the reasons I went on the show. Also, having sleep apnea and type 2 diabetic and, being fat was another reason I went on the show. But I'm a lucky guy. I'm a lucky guy. I had an opportunity to pursue one of my dreams, and I accomplished, as a little kids, we dream all the time. Dream of something, making something happen, wanting to be something. And life gets in the way, and crap happens, and sometimes we don't ever, realize our dreams. There's the guy that did the last lecture talks about dreams as a kid and achieving your dreams, and what you can do to achieve your dreams. I always dreamed about playing football at the University of Alabama. Ever since I was a little boy, I had a poster of Bear Bryant above my bed, and I had a little kid dreaming of playing football at Alabama with a really hot chick next to me. That would come later in life. But I want to play football in Alabama. And I remember when I was in the 7th grade, I moved to Texas. One of my best friends in Texas, I told him I'm going to play football in Alabama, and I'm going to wear number 66. And lo and behold, 5 years later, I get an opportunity to play football at the University of Alabama. Sign a scholarship. I never thought I'd ever. My coach, you talk about motivation, what motivates you? Motivation comes from within. And I'll never forget my coach stopping me when I was in the 10th grade. He goes, Roger, you got a chance to play college football. And that's all I want. That's all I needed to hear. I was like, oh, I'll do anything I have to do to play college football. He goes, well, you work really hard. I think you'll go to Furman. I went, crap, Furman. It's a good school, but it's not Alabama. So that motivated me, and I had an opportunity to go to Alabama, and when they offered me a scholarship, I jumped on it. So I realized the dream. I wish I had dreamed beyond that point, because then real life gets in the way. I ended up going to school, finishing, getting my undergrad, and got in marketing, got a master's in marketing. Then real life hit. I was an in-shape college athlete, an All-American with a great football program, and then boom. I was like Michael Phelps, man. I could eat 10, 12,000 calories a day, but man, I was burning it every day. Because we're working, I remember eating big pizzas at 10 o'clock at night. The whole thing. And then wanting more. We got burning it. I couldn't keep weight on. I was 260 pounds center. Everybody else was 300 pounds. I couldn't keep the weight on. So I had to eat just to keep the weight on because I was burning so much. I got through playing and then took out exercise. Next thing you know, weight started coming on me. And it came on me pretty quick. I can remember this was in May of '94 when I got over 300 pounds. I was work selling printing. I stepped on a scale that said 305. I went, yeah, all right. I always wanted to be 300 pounds, So I was like, yeah, I got 300. So I said, crap, I need to do something about this. Well, I didn't do nothing about it. Next thing you know, I just kept working and getting bigger, and I had an inside job where I had free Cokes, and I just gained the weight. I got to 383 pounds. Didn't exercise, I was a happy fat guy. We all had different experiences when we go on the ranch and when we lose weight, certain things happen and you kind of go through a change and they can tell their story. But we all had different experiences. My experience was I didn't change emotionally as I went through the process. I was a happy fat guy. I had a beautiful wife, a beautiful son, a beautiful life. Had reached goals that I'd wanted to reach. I was just a fat guy. And I said, I got to get this because, one, I'm unhealthy.
We've got a new view.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Hey, I knew I wasn't hungry. I knew I wasn't hungry. Before I didn't have a wedgie. But, I had a wedgie in my thigh. A wedgie here. But, so, I don't know where I was. But I am a lucky guy because about a month ago, I'm walking down Michigan Avenue looking for a pair of designer jeans to go on Oprah.
Oh,
are you kidding me? I'm trying to put on designer jeans. Oprah? Who would have ever thought, man? I'd have never in my wildest dreams thought I'd ever be on Oprah, sitting right next to her and looking at her going, man, how can I looked at my wife, I said, honey, I'll take one for the team right here. She likes it. That's $1 billion. Grab that big old $1 billion ass. Oprah. But who would have ever thought? You know, who would have ever thought that would have happened? I mean, I always dream big and think I can accomplish anything, but you never. But if there's some things that, because you're here too to learn a little bit, hear a little bit about our story, but a few things that you can take away from what we did on a ranch to help you in your life. And we'll all give you a tip or something. I think one of the biggest tips that I stay with today, and I think is important, is calories do matter. I think calories matter. What you take in, what you burn, and you know, there's arguments going, there's 100 different diets. I love seeing an ad on TV, and the guy goes, you can lose weight without exercising or dieting. What? You just might as well stick a gun and, you know, bolt the gun and pull it. I mean, that's crazy. How the hell does that happen? That doesn't happen. It's just, it's hard work, you know. It didn't come on overnight. It's not going to come off overnight. But you got to stay with it. And I think calories do matter. You got to burn more than you take in. You know, how many people know how many calories they burned yesterday? I know you do.
You know,
No, you know though.
Get the body bug.
You know, this is key. I know how many calories I burn. I stick to a diet now, and I don't want to drink my calories. Who would waste money on drinking their calories? You know, save it up if you treat yourself. You know, to have a lot, but don't drink your calories. And another good thing about watching your calories, high calorie day. High calorie day. It's great. You get to have a high calorie day. Because if you stay at a certain level, because this happens to a lot of people that diet and don't make a change, and you stay like 1,500 calories, you plateau, and I can't lose weight, I don't know what's wrong, I'm only eating 1,500, your body adjusts. It thinks it doesn't, that's not starvation mode, it just knows it's not getting enough to eat. Have you ever watched the show, and every temptation, the person that always eats the most food on temptation loses the most weight at the weigh-in? Have you ever noticed that? Watch it, you'll notice it now. It's crazy. Heaven did it this season. Well, they eat whatever. You know? It happens because you jump your metabolism up, your body knows it's getting food, and so you got to have a high calorie day in there to continue to burn. So, and you know, it was a wonderful experience. I could talk to y'all for about an hour, but they probably want to sit down and shut up. So, but it was great, and we did a little thing on the show called Pride, and you know, they think it's a football thing, but it's not just.
Pride on three.
Pride on three. Well, it's something we did. Something I did. Well, this is Pride on three. We're gonna get a pride. And it's something I did at the University of Alabama. When you work out like we did today, we all had a good workout. Everybody did the class. You feel that euphoria. Did you do your best? Yeah. No, don't say that. Yeah. You like my son. I always ask my son, did you have fun? Did you do your best? He goes, no. I'm like, oh crap, what do I do now? No, you did. You put your hand in because you gave it all you had. You give pride. And then I came up with an acronym for pride. You know, it's persistence. You know, you always got to be persistent, man. Every day's not. You're not going to win every day. You're going to get knocked down. People aren't for you. Man, when you want to try to do something, I tried to get on Biggest Loser, and I tried 3 times. I was persistent. I tried out for season 3, season 4. My dad goes, "You're crazy. What are you doing? Shit, just lose weight." You know, I'm like, well, I want to get on the show. I was persistent. You know, but nobody's going to knock you, man. Nobody's going to be for you. You can tell them your dream sometime. They go, "You can't do that. You can't do that." Why are people like that, man? Nobody wants to see anybody succeed. But you got to believe in yourself first. You got to believe it big. Pink team. Believe it big. But, so you got pride, persistence. Ours, respect. I think one thing we find out, all our stories when we got on the show, was we always kind of put everybody ahead of ourselves. Kind of unselfish in a way, but you put your family, your career, work, now you just do things ahead of yourself. And you forget about yourself. You might lose a little bit of respect for yourself. People aren't going to respect you when you're heavy. I mean, it's just the society we live in. Is it fair? I see it now that I'm thinner. People treat me a lot different than when I was heavy. It's a different reaction. You know, it's funny too because the number 1 selling cat calendar out there is that big old fat cat. You know, and when you see a fat cat or a fat dog, what do? You go, that cute little fat cat. I can promise you, nobody came up to me and said, "You're just a cute little